morning, guys. Oh, okay. So, I want to talk about a few things today. I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I'm feeling very almost shaky inside, just almost shaky. I'm having a hard time sleeping. When I do fall asleep, I wake up 2 or 3 times a night. As I'm laying there trying to sleep, my mind is just, it won't shut off. My mind has been going insane. It won't shut off. And this is all has to do, I'm feeling stressed. It's a stressed feeling of seeing our society crumble, of seeing a lack of leadership, I'm sick of being fed misguided information. I'm sick of them trying to control us like sheep. I'm sick of them using us as a paycheck. I'm sick of paying $7 a gallon for gas. I'm sick of seeing empty shelves. I'm sick of all the woke crapola. I'm sick of seeing their hidden agenda. I'm sick of I'm sick of seeing them get away with everything. Getting away with murder, getting away with backdoor deals with other countries. I'm sick of seeing a politician being worth billions of dollars. Because when you're in politics, you don't get paid a lot of money. You can look up and see what these people are supposed to be making compared to the billions that are in their bank accounts, compared to their 5 or 6 homes, their yachts. Politicians are not supposed to be living like that. You can see by their wealth who's the most crooked. It goes down from them, down to their children and grandchildren, and spreads through their family. They think that we don't know what's going on. Bull. We know exactly what's going on. Other countries know what's going on. This country's a laughing stock. Other countries are making comedy skits about our leadership. We all know what happened. We all know he's a puppet. We all know this. I'm sick of our open borders. I'm sick of the crime. Yesterday, we went, we had to go to the city. We had the last 4 days, our bank has been closed for the last 4 days. We couldn't even go online to check our balance. We could still use our ATM, things like that, but our bank was closed for 4 days. That's something I've never heard of. They said it was for maintenance. Because of all the new tax baloney that's the commander-in-chief is now wanting to have to do with our taxes and stuff, and how much we have in our accounts and what we're doing with that money. Like if it's any of their damn business, no. So they were updating all this stuff. So they finally opened up yesterday. And not only were they closed, we were now told, and this is a credit union, we were now told that if we have any bills that are paid automatically out of our checking or our savings, we have to go in and change that information. I don't know what gets paid with what. I don't know if it comes out of my savings account or if it comes out of my checking. I don't know. So now, upon everything else, we have to go through all of our stuff and try to figure it out. Another headache that we don't need. So we went to the bank yesterday, the credit union. Like I said, yesterday was the first day it was open. We pull up, and this isn't a good part of a town. Uh, um, we pull up, and there's three homeless Hispanic-looking men. They look terrible, laying on the ground in front of the bank drinking. We've never seen that. We've seen homeless, but not like that in front of the bank door when you go to walk in. I stayed in the car, locked the door. Hubby went inside the bank. He was in there forever. I just kept watching people go into the bank, and no one was coming out. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching these people, and they're watching as others are coming up to the ATM. And we carry protection with us everywhere we go. I will never be without it. So as someone was coming up to the ATM to get money out, I was watching the homeless people watch the people get money out of the bank or out of the ATM machine. And I wasn't going to let anything happen. I was watching to make sure that nobody attacked anybody. I don't know what I could do, but I was watching. So finally, hubby comes out of the bank, and I'm like, what took you so long? And he said there was about 25 people in there. And I said, well, I saw everybody going in. I didn't see anybody coming out. I thought maybe getting robbed or something. He said everybody was wanting at least $5,000 or more. They were withdrawing money. And he said, he said he just stood there and was listening. Every time someone walked up to the window, you could hear them. I want 10,000. I want 4,000. I want 5,000. I want 6,000. He said every single person. He said not one person was in there for regular business. They were taking their money out, which raised a red flag for him. So he gets up to the window and he tells them the amount he wants, and he jokingly said, is there a run on the bank? And he said that the man behind the counter said, that's not funny. And that's all he said. That's not funny. So he took his money, came back out to the car. We went about going to other stores and things that, I wanted to look at. There's quite a few stores that I can find some really good deals in, and I only had 3 pints of chicken left. And I was looking to can some more chicken breasts. So we went to Winco, and I scored on big family packs of beautiful boneless breasts, $1.27 a pound. I was shocked, because not only is everything going up, now with the avian flu, all the farmers are killing off all of their chickens, which is going to make a chicken shortage. Go figure. On top of everything else, something like this pops up. So I got my good deal on the chicken. We went to a few other stores. We both went in together to a few other stores. We went to Harbor Freight. We were looking to upgrade our security. The system we were interested in looking at was sold out. We came back out to my car. Somebody did a hit and run on my car. We have a van. They hit the driver's side slider. The door still opens, but it won't close with the push of a button. We now have to use the handle and pull it closed. You could see by the paint on my car that it was a white car, or a very light color, like a cream or white. But they nailed it. They must have been pulling into the spot next to us too fast, creamed my car, and took off. Then we decided we're going to go to lunch. We're at a light. There's a homeless man on the sidewalk. We're the first car next to the light. The homeless man's on the sidewalk next to me, on the passenger side of my car. He's waving some metal something around like a ninja. He's screaming at people, screaming at cars. I'm going to kill you, blah, 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 whatever the hell's going through his little mind. And then he spots me looking at him. And he does this on his chest. Come on, on, he said. And I'm just looking at him. And I looked at my husband. I'm like, oh, dear God. Just when is this craziness going to end? This is just ridiculous. He starts coming towards the car. I thought his intentions, I think, were to bash in the window and bash me, kill me, whatever the hell. I don't know what was going through his mind. Nobody knows what goes through their minds. As the light turned green, we left. He got back on the sidewalk. If that light hadn't turned green, he probably would have finished smashing in my car. So we went to lunch. We ordered our lunch. I couldn't eat. I could not eat. I thought I was going to vomit. I could not eat. With all the stress of everything that's going on in the world, and then all the things that happened to us yesterday, and knowing that everybody was taking out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of the bank. I mean, large sums of money they were taking out. Going in, taking it out, put it in an envelope, hitting the trail. It just overwhelmed me. It's just overwhelmed me yesterday. And I told my husband, I can't eat. I can't eat. I want to go home. And he goes, well, we're not even done with our food. I said, I'm going to throw up. I can't eat. My mind won't shut off. I said, I'm sorry. I just can't eat. And I started crying. And I said, finish your food. I said, if I eat anymore, I'm going to lose my lunch. So he got a box, took mine home. He finished his lunch. We got home, and on our way home, we had to stop and get gas. And there went $150. $150 we can't spare. It costs to fill my car. $150. And we were not on empty. The car wasn't empty. It was probably a little less than half. And it was $150. How are young families making it today? How are families making ends meet? You have 3 or 4 kids. Going to have 2 jobs. How are you making it? How can you afford food and gas and to go to work? How? We're retired and we hardly go anywhere. We go down to the city, and when we go down to the city, it's because we have doctor's appointments, or we try to do it all in one day. There's no more let's just drive down and go to the movies, or let's just drive down and go out to dinner. That's not happening. Got to have a plan. You got to have to do 5 or 6, 7, 10 things in one day to make it worth your while. You know the last time I saw my mother? I used to go down 2 or 3 times a week to help my mother. It's been a month or more. If we're down, we will stop. We will stop in to see what she needs and to take care of her needs. But there's no more dilly-dallying around, drive down, take mom to lunch. That's not happening. That is not happening. Our retirement is just going, going, going. There's so many people that are messaging us how we can make ends meet. Well, first of all, we're retired. And we saved a lot while we were working. Plus, and we're on Social Security. That doesn't do much. The money I get from making these stupid YouTube videos, that helps us make ends meet. Now, I can tell you that we use the Dave Ramsey method of getting rid of bills. We only have our house payment, plus our utilities. But the bill, the payments we have is our house. The Dave Ramsey method we used, you pay all your bills like you normally do. But with if the smallest bill, whatever the smallest bill was, whether it was a Visa bill or a hospital bill, whatever your smallest bill is that you're paying, focus on that. Start getting rid of that smallest bill. Pay extra, extra, extra. When that smallest bill is gone, go to the next smallest. Work your way up. Watch your spendings. If you're making I don't know even what amount people are making now a month. If you're making $4,000 a month, and I don't even know if that's right, because I don't know what people are making anymore, because since we stopped working, we've lost our mind. So if you're making, for an example, if you're bringing home $4,000 a month and your outgoing in bills and fun and whatever else is over $4,000, you screwed up. You screwed up. Your outgoing is not supposed to be more than what you're bringing in. You're headed down the wrong path. You're headed down the wrong path. You're living beyond your means. You're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. If you have a 2-family income and you want to stay home and take care of your children, do it. Do it. I'm not advocating to stop paying your bills. I'm just saying your family and your children are much more important than a good credit rating. Much more important. I'm not advocating not to pay your bills. But if that's what you have to do, then just do it. I don't know. Your family and your children and your safety are more important. I don't know what else to say to people. I go to the stores and I looked around the stores yesterday and I looked on all the shelves, and you know what felt really good? I didn't need anything. I didn't need to pick this up. I didn't need to pick up oil. I didn't need to pick up 50 pounds of sugar because I already have it. I have it. There wasn't anything that I didn't need, and except for the few items that I had on my list, which I did find. You have to live within your means. You have to be responsible for your children. You have to be responsible. A parent is responsible for what their children learns. You can't leave that. You can't leave your precious child in the hands of someone you don't even know. In the hands of someone that you don't know what's going on in their mind. In the hands of someone that has bad intentions towards your child. You're the parent. It's time to be the parent. It's time for you to teach your children what you want them to learn. Not what the government wants you to learn, wants them to learn. In California, California is the state right now that has the highest rate of children being taken out of the public school system. Our homeschool in my little town has quadrupled. And you don't have to teach your child 8 hours straight. That's ridiculous. Just because they're in school so many hours doesn't mean you have to teach them that exact amount of hours. You want to work on math one day for a half hour? Work on math. You don't have to teach every single subject every single day. You find the rhythm that works for you and your children in your home. I taught my children through junior high because the area we lived in was not safe, and they did not go to junior high. I taught them at home for junior high. We raised a granddaughter. I homeschooled her most of the time. She still belonged to the public school system, but we went on extended trips. And during that time, she figured out our gas mileage. She did the maps. She did everything. Guess what? She's a doctor. We're not taking the credit for that, but we geared our life towards her needs. So it's time for you to get your house in order, and I say that phrase all the time, which means Everything under your roof, you're in charge of. Your children, your food, your water, the things that are coming into your home, whether it be the news, anything. If your home is not a sanctuary, your home is a place of peace, a place of calm. Keep the outside influences out. It's your responsibility as a parent. It's your responsibility as a grandparent. The only thing we can do is keep that TV turned off. Keep those demonic things out of our home. We are tripling our protein, which is our turkeys, our pheasants, our quail, our ducks, our chickens. We're tripling that amount. We no longer do large animals. We don't do goats. We don't do anything like that. We don't do pigs. We don't do anything. First of all, it's too much for us because we're of our age. Second, it's much easier to go out and harvest a chicken for dinner than it would be to harvest a pig. What are you going to do with all that meat? If you want to go out and just get something for dinner, grab your chicken, grab a couple quail, grab a duck. It's much easier on us to do that. It's less mess, less stress, less noise. That's why we are now only a bird. You know, we're only raising birds. We are increasing our garden. Now, I just planted my garden, and it's ruined. It was ruined within 24 hours. We got a freak snowstorm. So yes, I'm very upset. Yes, I was crying because I started everything from seed. So this morning, I started the seeds again. I'm not going to be buying plants because the plants are $8. $8 for a little tomato plant when I have the seeds here. And I want to give you a tip. I took a Roma tomato and we sliced it into 5 slices. That's what I started. The seeds were already in it. It was already moist. We covered it with a piece of paper towel, kept it wet, and that slice of tomato with the seeds sprouted. That's how I sprout. That's how I start my tomatoes. You can do the same with bell pepper. You can do the same with an ear of corn. So we are just focusing on continuing to up our game here on our homestead. We're increasing our rainwater catchment system. We're increasing our garden. We're increasing our protein, our birds. We're adding more solar to all of our homesteads because we're a multi-generational homestead. We are turning our home into a safe haven. We are working harder to transform our property into a self-sustaining property. Everything that's going on around us, all the hate, all the lies, that is forcing me to say, I've had enough, and you're not going to be controlling me like a sheep. And it motivates me even more because I know I'm moving in the right direction. Homesteading is the right direction. You don't have to have land to be a homesteader. You can live in an apartment. Did you know that? You can still stock up on supplies. You can still learn to can. You can learn to pressure can. You can learn to dehydrate. You can put some potted plants on your balcony or your porch and start your vegetables. You can go to the food bank and pick up vegetables to can. You can go to farmer's market. If you don't have the space to grow, find a place to get some very cheap vegetables and fruit. If you know someone that has a garden, ask them if you can help them take care of that garden in exchange for getting some food. There's always a way. There's always a way. Now, I know the price of eggs is going through the roof. We have some smart Alec up here that's trying to sell eggs $8 a dozen. $8 a dozen. Mine are 3. We do not sell to the public. We only sell to a few people that we trust and we know, and they're allowed to come on our property. But I stopped selling to the public for family safety. I sell for $3 a dozen. That $3 gets my money back in the cost of feed. I have one man that always hands me a $5 bill. Always. And I tell him, let me go get your change. Every single time he says, no. You have very good eggs? No. They're worth $5. Okay. Or he'll hand me a 10 and he'll say, take a few dozen of your eggs and pay it forward. And that's what we do. That's what we do. So you don't have to have property to be a homesteader. You don't have to have property to get your shit together. You don't have to have property to start depending on yourself. You could be a renter. You can live in an apartment. You can live in a condo. But get wherever you live. You can live in a motorhome. If you live in a motorhome or a trailer, you can still keep your shit together. You have lots of space in a motorhome for extra canned goods, for extra food, extra blankets, medical supplies, extra water. We used to have a huge motorhome. We sold it. We couldn't afford the gas. That thing had cubbies and cupboards on that thing. We could fill it forever. You have to figure out what's important. You have to figure out what's important. So, if you're feeling shaky or just frustrated or mad or you have a headache and you just can't seem to get it together, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. And I don't want to, we've started at night. We started praying at night. We were never praying people. We found Jesus late in life. We've started praying every night for our family and thanking Jesus for keeping us safe throughout the day. We also ask him, please clear our minds so we may sleep. And let me tell you, whether you believe me or not, it's been working. Trust me, I'm the queen of not being able to sleep. I'm the queen of multitasking. I'm the queen of worrying 10 years from now what's going to happen. I can never shut my mind off. And since we've been praying before we go to bed, it kind of puts all of my fears and what ifs, I just send them to Jesus. Please take care of it. I can't take care of it anymore. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I can't control it. If you can't feel it, touch it, you can't control it. It's out of your hands. You can't control what's going on in Washington. You can't control what the news is going to report. You can't control how that homeless man's going to act to you. You can't control any of that. The only thing you can control is what's under your roof. You can control what's under your roof, what your children are watching, what your children are being taught. That's what you can control. And if you have to suffer a little bit and go to one income, you can make it work. There's a million ways you can make it work. And I'm not advocating not paying your bills. But you know what? Your bills are way down here on the bottom. Your children are up top. That's more important. You can block bill collectors from calling your house. You can change your number. Deal with it down the road. I'm sorry if it sounds terrible. Oh my gosh, she's telling people not to pay their bills. I'm telling you, pay your bills, what's needed to be paid. Pay your house, pay your electric, pay your sewer, pay your water, whatever you have to pay. That's important. if you have visa bills that are through the roof, if you have outside activities that are through the roof to cause you stress at night, to sleep, how are you're worried how you're going to pay that, how you're going to pay this. You have way too much outgoing. You need to cut it down to where it's manageable. Yesterday when my car got smashed, my husband said, I'm going to buy you a new car. I said, no, you're not. First of all, the price of cars has almost doubled. There's no way we can afford a new car or a used car. And I said, this can be fixed. We will just turn it in on our insurance and we can fix it. I would rather pay the deductible than have to pay another car for another 20 or 30 years. Forget it. We don't have that kind of money. We're on Social Security. We're in our mid-60s. So a new car is not happening in this household. Not by a long shot. We're repairing the damage. And that's what we're going to do, is repair the damage. So you have to weigh everything out. You weigh it out. Do you want that new piece of furniture? Do you really need that new piece of furniture? Do you need, more cattle? How are you going to pay for your cattle? Can you pay for feed? Guess what? We just paid $28 a bale of alfalfa for our horse. $28. $28. Luckily, we have a lot of things around our property that we use the cutter on, and she can eat. If it gets much higher, I don't know what we're going to do. But that's, down the road a little bit. A lot of people can't afford to feed their livestock. So stop and think. If you have a little, even if you own a house, you can have chickens in your backyard. No roosters, probably. Sorry. You can always find a free rabbit hutch. Put your chickens in a rabbit hutch so they're off the ground. The poop falls between the wires. Save that chicken poop and put it in your garden. If you have an old swimming pool, do what we did. We did aquaponics. Our built-in swimming pool now is full of catfish this long. Catfish, bluegill, crawdads, frogs, crappie. And we have floating bins that we made for our vegetables. So they float in the water. The roots go down into the water. And it gives the fish nutrients. The fish's poo makes the plants beautiful. That's how we grow our lettuce. Think outside the box. I hope this helped. This was way too long of a video. I never like doing really long videos. I had a whole thing I was going to talk to you about, and it didn't even happen. Just know that you're not the only ones feeling frustrated and feeling scared. Feeling like you don't have any control, even over your own children. Those are your children. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Nobody is in charge of your children but you. Simple fact. Peace out. Try and have a cool day. Watch your surroundings and prep. Prep, and pray. Sorry, didn't get to that. Have a cool day, guys.